Greetings, fellow songwriters and seekers, and welcome back to Muse and Measure. If you haven't done so yet, please hit the little guy in the lotus petal and subscribe and join us on this spiritual journey we call songwriting. All right, William from Tallahassee asks, do you think a song's job is to comfort the listener or to unsettle them? Very interesting question. Well, I think different songs have different purposes. Maybe some songs are meant to comfort people and some songs are meant to unsettle them. I know in my own music that it's kind of a tightrope act where you're kind of finding some kind of balance in between those two states of being comforting and being unsettling. Now, we can really go to dark places in our lyrics and our imagery, and even with the music, we can really kind of push the emotion into the darkness. And I've definitely been guilty of that as well. But I'm hoping by the end of the song that by going through these dark places emotionally and spiritually, that you come out with some kind of new equanimity or acceptance, and that is the comfort. Now, it might be a prolonged waiting or delayed gratification when it comes to the comfort. Maybe you don't get it later, or maybe it's just something that depresses the hell out of you for a couple weeks and then you just forget about it. But I think that by confronting certain spiritual facts and certain facts about life, about our mortality, about how vulnerable we are, about how flawed we are as human beings, I think all of that is just like necessary truths to confront. And you can kind of put the wool over your eyes and pretend like it's not true and delude yourself. But I don't want to make music that deludes my audience, even if I'm the only audience, and especially if I'm the only audience. I do not want to make music that deludes myself. That would be very, very, very disappointing and pretty pathetic, I think. So I think the main point is that I think you just need to tell the truth and have enough respect for your audience as a songwriter that they can handle the truth. And not try to coddle them too much, and not try to make it seem like everything's going to be okay when it's not. Now, on the flip side of that, you can be truthful as far as the positive aspects of life as well, and the wisdom aspects, and the great comfort that we can get from the truths of things, right? So, just take like one of the first noble truths of Buddhism, life is suffering. So, if some people feel that is just such a pessimistic outlook, that it's so sad and depressing and it makes you want to kill yourself. Yeah, but it is the truth, that maybe not, literally suffering. And I think this word, dukkha, has been mistranslated. It's like life is dissatisfying, that, even when we get what we want, we instantly are kind of dissatisfied and we want the next thing, that we're never truly content in life. Well, that's a kind of depressing truth, but there's also the flip side to it, which is that once you know that, you can know your own mind and you can work on it so that you can be contented and happy with whatever happens and whatever situation you're in. Like what situation you're in right now. What's happening to you right now? Are you feeling discontented? You probably are, because that's just a natural state. So there's a comfort there because you don't have to feel guilty for it. You don't have to think there's something wrong with me. That you can learn that this is a truth of all life. Doesn't matter if you're a snake or a king or the president of the United States sitting in a gold-plated room. That there's always this dissatisfaction and this kind of suffering as a result of that dissatisfaction. But by knowing that, all of a sudden you get some kind of liberation, because you see that, okay, first of all, it's not my fault that I'm in this state. I don't have to feel guilty for it. But also, like, by being aware of it, that's the first step towards freeing yourself from it. So that's what I mean by, like, with songwriting, being unsettling to your listeners. Well, if the truth is unsettling, that's okay. But I don't think you should just be unsettling just for the sake of being unsettling. You don't want to just have all these gory, graphic images that are just meant to disgust people and make them feel repulsed and make them feel depressed or something. I don't see the value in that. Unless you're really giving a description of something that it really happened or a real truth. I don't know. It's a question you'll have to ask when you create that song. But I don't think that the song necessarily has a role either way. But I know for my own personal writing philosophy, I want to tell the truth about what's going on with me. And I think by telling the truth about what's going on with me, that other people will be able to resonate with that, because human beings are all very, very similar, and we're all going through a lot of the same things. It's only when we try to delude ourselves and we say, oh, everything's great, life is so wonderful, and I'm happy lying on this beach sipping this margarita. I think you're deluding yourself and deluding your audience there, and not really telling the truth. But of course, those songs are huge hits. If you look at the history of music and what songs are really number one, a lot of them are people who want to escape reality through their music. So it depends on what you want out of your songwriting. If you want to have this happy-go-lucky feeling music, and that's your truth, or that's what you're aspiring to, then more power to you. And you're going to have a bigger audience, because people want to hear, they want to hear these kind of, everything's going to be okay. And everything is going to be okay. But it's not like everything's going to be okay in the sense that you are going to find this everlasting happiness, that you're going to be, that life is going to be basically lying on a beach sipping a pina colada. Because I think we've all known who's lain on a beach, is that the right word? Right form of the word? Who have been on a beach sipping these drinks, have been into paradise, that there's still that nagging discontent underlying that. Hopefully you have one little glimpse of happiness. I hope I'm not depressing you. But anyway, so is the point of this video to unsettle or to comfort people? You can do both at the same time, I think. It's like telling the truth, but telling it slant. You know, you're delivering the truth, but you're not delivering it in such a harsh way that people feel like there's no hope. Because there is hope, and there is good news. It's called the gospel noble truth, gospel being the good news, because we can liberate ourselves from these situations. It's just as long as we don't go chasing after these false hopes that, like, the key to life is drinking margaritas on a beach in some kind of idealized paradise, which of course is made possible by the slave labor of the locals who are not living this charmed life, waiting on the rich and powerful. All right. So yeah, so unsettle people, but unsettle them in a way that's comforting by telling them the truth, but revealing that there is beauty in that, but also there is comfort in the fact that we are moving forward, that we are curing our neuroses and this disease of the ego